Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are taking it low and slow with this gentle Pilates routine for core strength. So this is a great workout for when you want just something a little bit more gentle but still effective. And this workout is also safe if you are pre or post-natal. So roll out your mat. You will need a ball and a set of light hand weights for this routine. So grab those and let's do it. Hi guys, welcome back. So we're going to just start into this one with a super simple warm-up. Before we even get to that, just a reminder that I will have linked down below my channel on Elite Fit. If you want to do this workout with real-time feedback, then you can go click that link and follow along there so you can know if your form is good, if you're keeping pace, all that good stuff. So leave that below as an option. Come on to hands and knees here though to get started. And we're just gonna take a cat-cow, so really simple here. So it's a nice gentle routine. Inhale, hollow, lifting the chest forward and through. Exhale, round, tuck in, chin to chest, push up out of the shoulder blades. Do that a few more times. Inhale, hollow. Exhale, round. Again, inhale, hollow, just warming up the spine. Exhale, round. And one more time. Inhale, hollow. Exhale, round. And then from there, just to the next level really, you're gonna step back into a plank. Similar thing, we're going to just pull the navel in round, 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 wave our way back to downward dog, sink the heels down toward the floor, and coming forward, lift the tips of the toes, round, 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 forward into plank. And just going between those two. So as you wave through center, you're lifting to the tips of the toes, really rounding the back, and then straightening on either end, either in plank or downward dog. Heels really pushing down into the floor. On that downward dog, do a couple more here. If you hear sound in the background, basically just as I started filming, I think one of the cats went into the litter box. So there's some shuffling, sand moving over there. And last one there, knees down. And that's that. So we're just gonna get into it because it is quite a gentle routine. So I want you to start by grabbing your ball. Possibly a large cushion would work for this. You could also do this one with nothing at all. So I would say I would go for a ball or nothing. If you've got a ball though, it's just gonna go at the base of the spine there. So make sure it's nice and down low. You don't wanna be like here lying back on it. It's just at the very base, giving a little bit of support. So you're not really putting weight in it though. So weight, you're still lifting out. Navel in tight here, chest is open, and we're just gonna reach arms forward here. And you're just gonna do a little tiny pulse forward. So squeezing abs tight, there goes Layla coming through. So little tiny pulses. Now, we want the abs to be what's working here. So you kind of have to detach yourself from the legs so that the legs aren't just grabbing and pulling you up. You want to feel it here. And that's why the ball is actually quite nice because it gives just a little bit more support. So especially if you're doing this as part of a prenatal workout routine, it is nice to have that little bit of support there, especially as you're dealing with a little bit more weight because it does just give you a little boost. Feels nice. And just keep pulsing here, really focusing on squeezing the lower abs, engaging, staying open through the chest. And then I want you to go ahead, turn toward your right and pulse on that diagonal. So same exact motion, little tiny movements here. And again, we're really tapping into the abs, not drawing from the legs. The legs aren't pulling us. We're just here in the abs. Oh boy, Layla. She's chewing on the cord that this is connected to. Layla, come here. Come here. Filming with a kitten, I tell you what. And then go ahead, come through center, over to the left. I might have to sacrifice this ball to throw at her, to be honest, right now. Layla, come here. Get Colonel Sanders, come on. Come on, Colonel Sanders. We call her Colonel Sanders because the celebrity she most closely resembles is Colonel Sanders. Couple more here, and then we're gonna go side to side. So you're through center, you're gonna do one little push to the right, roll back through center, over to the left. So we're kind of drawing this shallow smiley face. So feeling the obliques. There's a little bit of a twist. Here comes Leo. If you guys haven't seen the cats in a while, they're all coming out to play today. Gang's all here. Hi, buddy. I know Leo's been really absent lately, but don't worry, he's still my best buddy in the whole world. He's still my #1 guy. And do a few more here. And last one, good. So that's a nice gentle one to kind of start with. We're going to, let's get rid of the ball. Let's get rid of the ball, yeah. You could actually still do this one with the ball there. I'm not going to. Because we're gonna do a little bit more of a tilt back. So weight is in the tailbone here. You can be up to the tips of the toes. You could modify with hands underneath here though. If the hands are underneath, just make sure you're not curling like this, you're pushing up out of it. So, right side, you're going to extend the leg, drop it down to the floor, do a lift, down, bring it in. We repeat on left. So it's drop, extend, lift, down, and in. Keep going, alternating right. Lift, down, bring it back, and left. Lift, down, bring it back. Still thinking of keeping chest lifted, staying really nice and long through the torso. Extend, lift. That lift might not be as high. It doesn't have to be super high. It could just be like there, back in. As long as you're feeling the pull behind the navel, doing the lift, the height of it doesn't matter so much. Shoulders staying back. And here's 3, 2, and 1. Good. From there, we're gonna extend both legs out long now. Give the legs a little shake out. I want you to sit as tall as you can here. That doesn't sound like that much of a challenge, but sometimes just like sit straight can be kind of a challenge. It's a little bit weird because we're used to, if we're sitting in a chair, we're used to kind of like having this position, which is not ideal. But I want you to sit really, really tall here. Again, we could do fingertips here to just help you push up out of it. Feet, I don't care what you do. They could be flexed, they could be pointed, they could be like this in between, doesn't matter. But we're gonna do a single leg lift here. So these are gonna be really tiny. Again, I want you to have the sensation of the navel pulling up, and that's what's pulling on the leg. So don't lean away from it, really stay pressed forward into it, right leg. You're gonna do a little lift, release. These are hard. Left leg lift, release. Right leg lift, release, left lift, release. These are strange spots we're working. No, it's a good one for strengthening the pelvic floor. Here's 4. These are quite difficult though, I'm not gonna lie. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So if you didn't already have hands down, now you're gonna bring them down, and you'll bring them just kind of to the outsides of the upper thighs here, because we're gonna be doing the reverse. We're gonna be lifting the butt. So I'm gonna show you one. People think that this is all like shoulders. It's actually very little shoulder. So it's gonna be this and release. That's core. To be fair, the shoulders are part of that. But it's mostly just about really engaging here, squeezing tight. Obviously, if you're doing this prenatal, that's gonna be a lot smaller potentially. So you might just do like a little boop and down. You might just experiment with like shifting the weight and then releasing. It might not be a big hold, depending on how big you are at this point. But we're gonna go for as big as we can do there. We're just doing 10 of them. So inhale, on the exhale, little press, inhale, release. Little press, inhale, release. I have a feeling the cats are about to start going crazy. They've been so good in the last like several videos, and then for some reason today, I turned on the camera and it was like go time for them. So, I don't know. Maybe it's because we have the Christmas tree up. Yes, that's right. It's like just off camera right here. I don't know, actually maybe some of the branches are even visible. Not sure. I don't think so. Here's 2. And 1. And release. Good. Just quickly here, take the soles of feet here. Let knees open up. Give that a little release, and then we're gonna come down onto one side. So again, using the ball here, if you have a cushion would work for this one, but just coming down onto one side, you'll come onto the forearm. So notice elbow is directly underneath the shoulder. You don't want it to be out here where it's gonna collapse. So you'll just stack straight over it. The alignment of this one is important. So bottom leg is gonna come all the way forward here so that the knee is in front of the hip. Knee, ankle, and this bottom palm should all be just along the edge of your mat. So it's not back here, it's all the way up here. Ball or cushion is going to go behind the top knee. Give it a tight squeeze. I recommend flexing that foot, just gives you a tighter grip. Make sure you're staying lifted here. So again, we're not collapsing, we're lifting. That's core strength. This leg, we're just gonna be lifting and lowering, that's it. So it's gonna be an exhale lift, inhale lower. We're doing 20 of these. So pay attention here, knee and ankle should be on the same level. We don't wanna open up like this. So check that as you're lifting. If you had a mirror in front of you, you wouldn't even see the foot because it just disappears behind the knee. So that should be on the same level. Now, ideally, knee should be in line with the hip, if not even just a little bit back. I don't have a lot of space to play with right now, so mine is pretty much in line. I can't really push it back too much, but ideally, I mean, you should have space behind you, right, when you're working out. So if you can push back a little bit, you'll get a little bit extra glute engagement, which would be nice. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, hi, my love. Hi, my love. Look who's here. I know, have we all missed him? Oh. Yeah, no worries. I know you guys haven't seen Leo lately, but Leo is still my #1 best buddy in the whole world. Ever. Give me 4 more here. If anybody's read like any of the His Dark Materials series, so like Golden Compass, what are they? Subtle Knife, Amber Spyglass. 1 more here. Keep the leg lifted, and you're gonna push back. So again, I'm doing pretty small because I'm hitting the wall, but it should be the biggest pushback you can do. We're doing 20 of these. Yeah, if anybody's read those series of books though, Leo is my demon, basically. You'll understand if you've read those. If not, you're gonna be like, WTF are you talking about? Leo's he's my little demon. It's basically like your soul in animal form. That's what this guy is. Meanwhile, Layla's over there chewing on a notebook. Amazing. Oh, here comes the gang. Keep pushing back here. Another thing to think about, that bottom leg should be staying really pressed into the floor. Check in here, make sure you're not collapsing. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want you to keep it back, and you're just gonna squeeze on the ball. So heel to butt, 20 of these. Don't go too fast. Sometimes I'll see people do these like a bum, 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 bum. There's no control when you do it like that. So it should be a controlled squeeze, hold, release, squeeze, hold, release. Don't just let it release of its own accord. We release because we want to, not because it's just springing back. Hello there. Hi, friend. And go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that squeeze. 1 more time. We're gonna push back. So 20 of these. Push, push. Again, check in here. Make sure that that shoulder is not anywhere near your ear. You shouldn't be like hanging out here. You shouldn't really feel that shoulder too much because energetically, you're lifting from the middle. That's what makes this a core exercise, actually, because we're thinking navel in tight and staying lifted. The Christmas tree might come down in front of the camera shortly. You're being such a terror today. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, take that ball out. You're gonna extend that top leg long. Ball is just gonna come right in front of you here, and top hand is gonna push into it. So like really give it a good old push. That top leg is straight. Foot is gonna stay parallel to the floor. So again, we don't wanna rotate the hip open, toes up to the ceiling like that. We're just gonna do 10 straight lifts here. So nice and simple. Exhale, lift, inhale, release. Exhale, lift, inhale, release. Now after that last series, these are going to feel heavy, I would say. Keep pushing into that ball here. Keep thinking navel into spine. Here's 4, 3, 2, keep it up on 1, and we're gonna pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. All right, still with that ball there. Now the bottom knee is gonna come back. So the knees are gonna be in line because we're gonna lift up to a modified side plank. We're just gonna do 10 of these. So planks are actually good pre and postnatal because it's just tightening everything around here. We're sealing the gates. So helps with things like the abdominal split. I mean, planks are good for everybody anyway. So side planks here, modified from the knee. Keep pushing into that ball. It'll give you a little support. Inhale. On the exhale, we lift the hips up. Inhale, release. So exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Again, shoulders should be stacked directly over the elbow. It's if that line gets off that you're gonna start to feel like maybe like a pulling at the shoulder. That's not the most pleasant. So make sure that it's staying there. Good, few more here. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1, release, and we'll flip over to the other side. So, same setup over here. We're gonna be directly over that elbow, palm, bottom knee, bottom ankle, all along the edge of your mat, just to make sure that everything's nice and square. Ball behind the top knee, give it a tight squeeze. Again, I recommend flexing the foot. I mean, you don't have to, but I just think it does give you a tighter grip. So, knees on the floor here, 20 lifts to start. So exhale, lift, inhale, release. Exhale, lift, inhale, release. And like I said, on that first side, we want to keep the knee more or less in line with the hip. If you're too far forward like this, it's not gonna be the same thing at all. So yeah, if you've got space behind you, ideally you would actually push back a little bit. I'm more or less straight on. I'm gonna scoot forward a little bit here so I can get a little bit more space. But yeah, thinking navel pulling in tight here, really lifting up out of the side. So think of this as already going into that side plank where that energy is going upward. There should not ever be a tremendous amount of pressure in that bottom shoulder. If there is, this is not working. So lift more from the middle energetically. That is our center right now. We're not collapsing. So energy is always upward, never downward. That's not where we're going with this. Do a few more here. Oh good, Layla's just passed out under the tree. Very cute. She's a terror, but she's cute. And one more here, keep it up, and we're gonna push back, back, back. So it's a little squeeze the glute, the hip doesn't turn at all, it's just a straight back motion. So it's just a horizontal motion. Bottom leg stays pressed in the floor, check that, because if that's lifting up, that's gonna be an indication that something's not where it belongs. Something could be opening too much. Maybe you're going too big with the range. So yeah, bottom leg should stay pressed into the floor as you just squeeze that glute. So I mean, you could even bring a hand to the glute. I enjoy doing that sometimes because it just helps me focus where the energy is going. Few more here, and I can feel like, okay, there go those muscles. Here's 3, 2, 1. Keep it there, heel to butt, squeeze, and squeeze. So nice tight squeeze like you mean it. If the ball needs to be adjusted, mine does a little bit right now, there we go. Just find the sweet spot for it where it's going to stay. Stay lifted up out of the floor here. So if nothing else, stay lifted here. I know we're talking about all this stuff. This is just like, this is the distraction from this, really. But yeah, you really want to stay lifted here because if we're collapsing into this, this is all pointless. So really think of opening through the chest and that top shoulder. Keep going here. And go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, we're just gonna push back and back. So squeezing that glute. Knee and foot are still on the same level. So again, just watch to make sure you're not doing like something like that, where you're really opening up, because that is what we want to avoid. So keep it nice and straight. Keep going, keep going. Should be feeling the top oblique as well with these. And go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release the ball. Keep the bottom knee where it is for now. Ball, you're just gonna press down in front of the chest here. Top leg is straight. 10 lifts, 10 pulses, 10 side planks. That's it. So exhale, lift, inhale, release. Exhale, lift, inhale, release. So don't do such a high lift that your torso is collapsing. Keep that leg a little bit lower. That's fine. We'll keep it a smaller range there. And then keep the torso lifted. So again, really important to maintain this angle the whole time. Go for 3, 2, keep next one up, and we pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now that bottom knee gets to move back a little bit so that the knees will be in line here. 10 side plank lifts. Inhale on the exhale, lift, pause at the top, slow release down, resisted release. Exhale, lift, inhale, release. Four more. Here's 2, 1, and release. That's us done with the ball. So ball can just go off to the side here, and you're gonna grab your weights. So we'll finish with a little bit of upper body. You can be in any comfortable seated position for this. So it doesn't have to be how I'm sitting, just any comfortable seated position. The important thing though is that you are maintaining a straight line with the back. So I like to sit like this because I know I can stay super straight if I sit like this. Sometimes my concern here, I'll show you, is that there's more of this tendency to collapse into the lower back and round a bit. So you can kind of see that that's what's happening. I mean, I could stay really straight like this, but it's just something else I have to think about. So choose a position where you know that you can stay straight. You could also be all the way up on the knees here. You could do this one totally standing if you want to come up to standing. You could also do it on a big exercise ball. So that is in fact, I think, the ideal situation. So especially for prenatal, if you have one of those big balls that you can sit on that, do this on there. It adds a little extra core stability. So those are your options here. It's just gonna be 2 upper body exercises. We're gonna do 15 reps of each, and we're gonna do a total of 3 times. So that's it, pretty simple. The 2 exercises I'll show you, it's gonna be an Arnold press. So we do elbows together, open, press up, down. That's gonna be the first one we do. The second one is gonna be an overhead tricep extension. So you're gonna squeeze the weights together, elbows are hugging in tight to the head, and we're just gonna exhale up, inhale down, keeping the elbows in tight. We don't want them to chicken wing out like that. So it's just those 2 things, 15 of each, 3 times through. So starting with arms and goalposts, navel in tight, really lengthen through the crown of the head, and here we go. So it's in, out, press, down. Now, especially on that press, make sure you're not hollowing the back. So this is still very much core work because we're staying really tight and tucked there. So often I actually really like doing upper body series for the core for that reason. I find sometimes I actually get the most by doing these kinds of overhead presses and things like that, where you really have to stabilize so that it doesn't go into the back. Because again, we don't want to feel the back on this one. 5 more here. And I'm using quite light weights for these because these are fairly intense and we're doing high reps. So I'm using 1.5 kilos. One more here. Good. And down. And then pressing weights together here. Hug elbows in tight to the side. Same thing, you don't want to be like bowing back like this. So make sure you're staying nice and straight. Keep the elbows narrow. Inhale on the exhale. Extend, bend, extend, bend. Now, I know that for some people, these ones can be a little irritating to the elbows. So if that is the case, you can also just do a regular tricep kickback. So regular tricep kickback, keep going with these, would just be that and bend, yeah? So that would be another possibility. Back into these. And go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, release. Yeah, so both of those, we'll give a quick shake out. Both of those we're going overhead, obviously. I did that for a reason because again, it just forces a little bit more core stabilization when we go over the head. Versus like a bicep curl, yes, the core should still be engaged, but if we're down here, it's not that hard to do that. So back to goalpost, round 2. We go in, open, press, down. In, open, press, down. Nice and controlled, trying to keep the elbows level with the shoulders as you draw them together. Remember to breathe, of course. So exhale as you press up, exhale as you go in. So inhale down, exhale, inhale, exhale, yeah? That's me, the breathing. But with these, it's not as strict as some things, because there's a lot of movement. It's obviously very dynamic. As long as you are breathing, it's a good place to be. That's happy times. So don't get so caught up in it that you lose the rest of it. And here's 3, 2, and 1. Good. And down, there we go, into those tricep extensions. So hold the weights together. I'm trying to find a flat part of these to make it easier to hold them together. That's kind of failing. Arms up, hug the elbows in tight, navel in tighter. Exhale, extend, inhale, bend. Exhale, extend, inhale, bend. Ooh, just keep those elbows in tight, like you're hugging your head. And here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. You could also be just using, I feel like it's late for me to say this, but if you're doing this workout another time, you could also just use a single weight for those ones, because obviously, I mean, we're holding it together. If you have one bigger weight that you want to use, you could just use one. You could grab around like the little end bit like that. That tends to work well for those. But yeah, 2 weights if they're smaller weights works as well, obviously. Final round of these, and then we're gonna stretch it out. So back to your goalpost here. It's a big arm bonanza here at the end. So elbows, open, press, down. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Shoulders, probably getting a little bit tired. I tell you what, even like just these 1.5 kilo weights, I'm like, wow, they do add up. Tell you what, when we go for reps, it's no joke, but that's the muscle endurance. And the nice thing is that in this workout, we've kind of focused on these sort of smaller muscle groups. So nothing should be too taxing. Last one here. So even though it's like, oh my God, my shoulders burn, my arms burn, it's so intense. System-wide, it's not that intense because it's really isolated. So yeah, this is getting a nice burn, but we're not over-taxing the system like if we did a ton of like, let's see, like hamstrings, glutes, quads, those kinds of things can be very taxing. So arms overhead, last time here, exhale, extend, inhale, bend, which is not to say that you can't do those things prenatal. It really depends on the person, like what you've done up to that point. So if you've been like really physically fit, if you have good, cardio endurance, if you're pretty strong, a lot of stuff you can continue kind of doing. You just wouldn't want to advance it, so you don't want to like go above your current level. That's the thing. But what's your current level? Well, it's going to be different for everybody. So yeah, I think it's really beneficial before getting pregnant to be in good shape. Here's 2 and 1. Weights down, because obviously that makes it easier then once you're pregnant. Give the arms a little shake out. Oh, whoop, hitting the wall, amazing. Cross one arm in front of the chest here, and then take that hand between the shoulder blades, press down. Nice little stretch here, nice little stretch finale, and release. Other side, cross in front. And take it between the shoulder blades, give it a press down. And release, just press both arms back. If you're not already sitting directly on the tailbone, go ahead and do that now. So we'll go for a seated pigeon, just because this is one that allows a lot of control. So you can space it farther, near, as you prefer. So right ankle is going to cross over left knee. So if you're working with like a bit of a belly right now, you're just going to be out a little farther, really focusing on lifting your chest up. If you got the space to play, you're just going to bring the left foot in nice and close, lift up. Important thing is that we're not collapsing here, so keep a nice flat back there. I also like to go for a little bit of kind of like a hip massage here, so I'll take a little rock side to side. That is optional. I just find this particular angle, like when I go to the corner, whoo, for my hips, oh my God. Yeah, that's killer. But yeah, I just like a little extra bit. You don't have to do it though if you don't want to. Go ahead, release, switch sides. I swear I'm accumulating more and more cat hair on my leggings as we go. That's just part of it. It's awesome too when like most of my wardrobe is black. 3 long-haired cats, perfect, good strategy. And again, if you want to add that little kind of like hip rock in, side actually doesn't feel as bad. Yeah, I always say like as it gets colder, it's not really the time to like force a lot of flexibility, because things are probably going to be a little bit tighter. So don't worry if you're a little bit less flexible now than you were maybe in the summer. Release, and then we're going to do another cat-cow. We're going to finish with cat-cow too. So hands on your shoulders here, navel just drawing in nice and tight. Inhale, hollow, lift the chest through. Exhale, round, tuck in. So this tuck especially is going to be really good both pre and post-natal, because again, it's one of those ones that helps with an ab split, if an ab split should happen. Might not. And also, you don't have to have given birth to have an ab split, so there's that too. Last one here. And then settle back into a child's pose, if you can, if you have the space for it. So obviously this is both for, it's prenatal safe, but if you are prenatal, you're probably not going to be down in a child's pose right now. You might be, depending on how far along. but you can just do whatever stretch feels relaxing for you in this moment. And then go ahead, come back up. There we go. That is us done. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. So yeah, whether you're prenatal or not, it's still a nice, just gentle routine if you're like getting back into working out, if you've had a little bit of a break. Around the holidays, it's nice because sometimes we don't want to go super crazy. But yeah, however you use it, I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please let me know by giving it a like down below. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button. So December is coming, which means I'm thinking I'm gonna do a All I Want for Christmas 2.0 series. So pop back in for that one in December. And if you have any special requests for that or for some time in the future, let me know down below in the comments. Hopefully see you guys soon. Bye.